Okay, doing another league with Jeskai. Very similar list to last time. We're trying out some stealaways in the main deck because of Danto Vanguard. We've also got the 4th explosion in the board now, because that seems really strong against the black-green decks. We just want to like be top decking really well against them. Ooh, this is a fine hand. What is the Shalai in the board for? It is for mono red. Turns off risk factor. Works well with Lyra. Let's get this down tapped, I think. There's like nothing I'd want to Justice Strike, right, with 2 Clarions in hand. It's like not something that's happening. Yeah, Shalai seems quite strong against mono red. Considering, I guess they might board in some Fight with Fires for Lyra, but See ya, Alex. What am I doing here? I kind of just want to pass the Ionize up, honestly. Like, just hope to hit our land drops here, then we can go search with Ionize up at some point. I don't really want to run search into a Vraska. You wish we had better stuff versus mono red? Yeah. I think with the Lyras and the Shalais, we definitely stand a chance. So I'm going to sweep this up with a Clarion. It could let them resolve a Planeswalker, which is scary. So I could also just counter this. Or I could just Justice Strike it. I guess that's also fine. I can just Justice Strike this. Continue to have Ionize up here. Hey, Darwin. This is 6 damage. Yes, Justice Strike is the only answer to Doom Whisperer. So I kind of want to hold on to it on that basis. This is not an instant. This would be so messed up if it was an instant. It's already kind of messed up. This might be a mistake. I'm a bit worried about Doom Whisperer. But I think this works out nicely. Quicken in Standard, oh my god. Quicken Clarion. Just like Quicken to help flip search as well. Fine, Broker. I'm just gonna counter this. It's like not that threatening, but doesn't die to Clarion. Now we get to go search with counter backup, which seems really strong. Next time we go Clarion counter backup. Whoa! Daniela with a huge host. Welcome to everyone joining us. We're playing some Standard. Playing some of the sick Jeskai deck. They get back the Fine Broker. I guess I have to counter this. It kind of sucks. Fine Broker just like rebuilds their board over and over and over. Like, I'm so worried about a Planeswalker here is the problem, but probably just meant to do this. Hey, Mafioso. Rip. Never mind, we're great. there ever any doubt at all. Oh, ye disbelievers. How's the Jeskai? Jeskai is awesome. This deck is very strong. I'm getting lots of early concessions from people with it. Like, absurdly early, which is weird. But we 4-1'd our first league. Attacking Teferi, attacking our face? No! It means Teferi is not long for this world. Alright, let's draw an explosion, please. Draw an explosion and make this game nice and easy. Yeah, I'm gonna have Vraska's at least a Vraska's Contempt in the main of black-green, I think. I think you need it for the mirror. Vraska's Contempt is very good in the mirror, since Planeswalkers are like the main thing that matters. You had to draw a draw 2 or an explosion, which is making this game very tricky. Just like can't pull ahead in cards. Yeah, it also just like the Planeswalker heavy builds are like definitely more challenging. I think the matchup is probably 50-50. If the black-green deck is Planeswalker heavy. And then, like, if they have Carnage Tyrants, they're probably a favourite. Explosion. Nope. Rip us. How do I like Doom Whisperer in the black-green mirror? I think it's very bad. It just dies to Vivian and Vraska and Chupacabra and everything. I think Doom Whisperer is quite a reasonable card other places. I think it's very good against the red decks. I think it's like one of the single best main deck cards you can have against the red decks. But I think in the black-green mirror it's quite poor. We should be choosing both to send a message. We really should. Also, we're pretty dead here. If we draw Explosion this turn, the problem is we have to Clarion to not die. Interesting. Well then. The deck does not want us to give up, huh? Apparently not. We're trying our hardest here to not die. Counter their Fine Broker. The deck does not like early concessions, apparently. Don't know how we possibly ever win this game, but I Ionize over Sinister Sabotage because you can actually cast Ionize. The double blue and Sinister Sabotage is rough. It's really, really hard to actually use. It's kind of a good starting point. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cards. And then we'd have up. Or we could do 4 cards and hit a Clarion. We can do 5 cards and hit Strike or Seal Away. Or we can do 4 cards and have Clarion in the equation too. I think I like having Clarion in the equation. Yeah, both critters are lethal, I guess, in 2 different ways. Yeah, we just have to do this, right? You're right. You are correct. Oh, expanding discard spells is delightful, Daniela. I love that so much. Suspect we are dead. If they remember how their Planeswalker works. Why would doing it for one more? We just die to like either to Vraska ult. Right, I suspect I meant to hit the pirate here because then they can't kill my seal away in end step to get a creature.
Do you want to go and get some more rolls?
I did play a land Maru, so I played the Sacred Foundry tapped. That was a very strange minus from the Vraska. Don't really understand what happened there. Jeez, the stack does not want to give up. So I can go Clarion minus on Finebroker. So it's free. Oh, and then we get to Insight too in the same turn. I think it's very build dependent, Daniela. I think if you want black-green to beat Jeskai consistently, it's not that challenging. You just need to play a lot of Carnage Tyrants. But lots of people are not playing enough Carnage Tyrants, so I think Jeskai is a slight favourite at the moment. Carnage Tyrants solve a lot of problems. They are angry, angry dino friends. Alright. How are we still alive? It's pretty good. It's a pretty decent one. Do I think blue-red counterburn can beat black-green? If you play Phoenixes, maybe? Unsure. Again, it's like, if you all you need to do is put Carnage Tyrants in the black-green sideboard and you beat so much random nonsense that you normally lose to, is the thing. Like, I imagine blue-red counterburn could be, like, very easily be favoured against, like, super stock black-green, but you just put Tyrants on the board. And you murder people. Alright, so we want this, we want the 4th explosion. We want the Banefire, I think. We definitely want to get rid of these strikes, these sealaways, just be all in on the sweepers, on these strokes. We decided Cannonade actually wasn't as good as the other sweepers, didn't we? I sort of like don't love binding. So it could become another Negate. On the play, Negate might be better than binding. I can see that. Cannonade not killing Vraska tokens. Oh my god, seriously? That's hilarious. That's amazing combo. Having the 4th explosion that you can board in is so nice, jeez. The fact that post-board we can just go like Explosion into Banefire to randomly kill them too. Even if we're really far behind, we just like have a certain percentage chance to just burn them to the ground. It's nice. Alright, I would like to go first. If this hand hits land drops, it's absurd. I don't think I can reasonably mulligan this, but obviously, like, we have 27 lands in this deck, right? Why no Spyglass in the side? What makes you want Spyglass in the side? Sick. Right, let's do that again next turn. Flame of Cowd or Frenzy version of Mono Red? It's a good question. Depends how they're building their black-green decks. If people start trimming on Wild Growth Walkers, then Flame of Cowd becomes better. If people like trim on Planeswalkers for some godforsaken reason, then I'm just going to discard this Blink, I think. And then Frenzy would become better. So I guess on that basis, like, the problem is the Flame of Kel build is just like wildly unplayable if people are playing Wild Growth Walkers. If they were like respecting red at all. I don't know. It's tough. That is a Lanoir Elf. It's not a very good Magic card. Also, our hand is amazing. I'd be quite surprised if we lost this game. I guess that's part of how we lose this game. I could copy it, but I don't really want to use up my explosion. I think I'm just negating it. Don't give them the info or the choice. Yeah, exactly, Nuclear. The Golgari Queen herself. Easy life. Easy game. Sometimes you just top deck Teferi and the game ends. Alright. Am I expansioning now? If I expansion now, I can look for a Planeswalker, right? Yeah, this is kind of nice. It's so nice having a fourth one of these in the deck. Like, just knowing you have the fourth expansion explosion so you can afford to spew one on copying a Duress is amazing, right? Yeep. Alright, alright. Goodbye Teferi, you will be missed. You were loved. Instant speed discard, quite dumb. Quite dumb. I guess we just fire off this Insight now. It's pretty bad if they draw a Duress, but otherwise we can find like an Azcanta or something we want to play here. Or this messed up Magic card. They're gonna get back Plaguecrafter? That's fine. Doesn't do anything. Jeez, the 4th copy of this in the board is great. I am never cutting the 4th copy from the board, or the 75 anyway. Being able to board in a 4th copy in this sort of matchup just feels so absurd. Oh yeah, expansion's so versatile. The fact that it can do that sort of stuff. Hey, this Field of Ruin coming in clutch. I guess I wanted a Plains there, that was bad. I wanted another Plains. Right, so we can draw 4 this turn. Kill the Fine Broker, draw 4 cards. Dece. Our card advantage is slightly better than that card advantage. Never mind, I take back everything. Take back everything. Huh. Interesting. Am I targeting the Vivian? I probably am. Yeah, if I draw a Teferi, I can Clarion the board, right? Yeah, I can zap Vivian down to 2. Yeah, you can copy all sorts of weird things. You can copy a kicked Fight with Fire, which is great. Just like 10 your opponent for 2 mana. Oh wait, we already tapped a red. Anyway, whatever. Could lose this. Could definitely lose this. I'm actually in a lot of trouble now. We bricked hard there. I actually say we're like a significant underdog at the moment. Yeah, magic rolls are very consistent. You just have to like know how they work. They're very they aren't always user friendly, but they are consistent. Do I not like the lightning strikes to deal extra damage to planeswalkers? I think Lightning Strike could be fine. I kind of like being able to answer a Danto Vanguard as part of the deal. I think a Danto Vanguard is like kind of a legit card at the moment. See your way on deals with that. Whoa. They kill their board, and then they just get back their board. I guess it stops me taking damage for a turn. Which makes Explosion a better draw. This does make Teferi a worse draw. Sure. Like, obviously they can sack Memorial, get back Fine Broker, and just, like, have everything back in a moment, but... Yep. This is why, Aza's Gateway would have just got killed by Vivian. Like, Aza's Gateway is terrible against these cards. It just gets killed by their planeswalkers. Like, Search for Azcanta is, like, only barely good enough in this matchup because of the Planeswalkers. Oh. Alright. Back to art school for autumn, oh my god. I need Star of Extinction, apparently. Maybe Star of Extinction isn't terrible. Like, every single game in this matchup gets to this point, right? Feels that way. I think I'm just gonna let these resolve and hope to draw Nova. I think that is the plan. Yeah, Star is very good versus black-green. Agreed. It might actually be good enough in this matchup. Alright, let's draw an over here. Let's be exceedingly lucky. I think we had to get lucky there. I think that was a fine choice. Star might be good enough. If you're, like, really wanting to beat black-green. It's interesting. It's interesting. Right, I'm gonna head to the bathroom a sec. And then we'll be hopping right into another match. Continuing this league. Before we won the first league, lost our first match of this one, but can't win them all. The list is great. Explosion is great. Back in a mo. Alright, let's get back into those games. Yeah, Rao is like fine, but the gap in power level between Rao and Teferi is so absurd. Rao is definitely Rao is probably good against black green. I will admit Rao is a card that would help versus black green, but I am interested in trying out like a single Star of Extinction. It's a really powerful card to draw into against those like Planeswalker dense boards. This mana base is so greedy. That is the reason why it looks greedy. Alright, hand's great. There is a very good reason why this mana base looks greedy. Now consider the fact that some people are playing Esper, and they have one less shockland than we do. Mana base has honestly been kind of fine, but... What? Playing against some Death Shadow action over there. Alright. Well, that sounds like pretty reasonable. We have a counter and an insight. If they're actually on blue-red, then the Clarions might get to trade with Electromancers at some point later. Oh my god, second insight. Yeah, this is great. This is just great. Bit scared of Syncopate, but most of the blue-red lists aren't running that. So... Oh, we played this opponent last league. Yes, we did. We did. Ty, you're correct. This is the same opponent we lost to last league. This was our one loss last time. Yeah, I think green-white is not good anymore. I think green-white was very good week 1. But I think the deck is really exploitable. And also, as you say, just not good against the builds of black-green that people are playing currently. I want to fire off a draw 2. Discarding a Clarion's honestly fine. Kinda just want to like keep going through my deck, find an Azcanta, maybe. Alright. I think I'm going to discard a Clarion here. They do have Electromancers in their deck, but we have lots of this stuff to draw into. Resolves. I could have discarded the Clarion to the flashback. That's fair. Oh no, you'd still have to discard Ty. You're still using up one card from your hand to draw 2 cards. So you still have to discard. It's the same either way, right? I'm just gonna bounce this. Haha, take that, Sheevan Fire. However shall they win now without that Sheevan Fire in their hand? Inconceivable. In fact. He's back. Hey friend. How you doing? How's it going? Would I play Alanor Elves or not? I don't know either. I think I probably wouldn't. So the thing about Llanowar Elves is it's only good in the mirror, pretty much. But it is quite good in the mirror. At least the way the decks are built at the moment, it is quite good in the mirror. If people start really loading up on Contempts, then it gets worse in the mirror, because then you just have like a lot more air in your deck and the Planeswalkers are getting like cleanly traded with. But, I don't know. It's an interesting question. I think I just want to Clarion this and save the binding for the Drakes. If they fight over this, it's like very whatever, right? Get to resolve Search too, potentially. It's really unlikely they have 2 counters here. Awesome. I don't mind them untapping and resolving stuff. We've got an Ixalan's binding, so we can answer most things. Search is just absurd. I suspect I would play elves in black. I would not play elves in black green in a big tournament, just because I wouldn't expect like more than 25% of the room to be on black green at the moment. So like you just have 3/4 of your matchups where like elves is medium or worse. I really want this card. I guess I'm not flipping search this turn. I kinda want to go like Teferi Ionize back up. Alright. Pro Tour's in like a month. There's still a little while till the Pro Tour. Yeah, like I could see a world in which by the time Lille has come round, maybe the format somehow ends up inbred enough that you want Lana or Elves. But I'm certainly hoping it doesn't end up that way. It's only 11 days out. That is true. It is. Actually, worryingly soon, huh? Fair point, well presented. Fair point, well presented. I am gonna, by the way, like, I'm gonna be playing a lot of black-green on stream this week. I'm gonna try out lists of Lana or Elves, just from the perspective of, like, I think it's irresponsible of me not to play with them, and, like, see how those lists feel. But currently I do not anticipate playing Elves in Lille. That is perfect. I would like an Ionize. Alright, I don't know how we possibly lose this game. We even have an Ixalan's binding for Niv Mizzet, so I think I'm gonna discard this land. I think discarding this land is, like, fine. Probably draw into more. It's very panic-inducing, eh? Tiny bit. I like how they're just ignoring the insight in their yard. That's nice. Damn, shouldn't have said anything. Oh, wait, that's one from the hand. Oh, they're gonna have a lot of cards here. Do I just want to resolve Explosion? How much can I resolve it for? 1, 2, 3, 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I can put them to 7 with an Explosion. It's not clear that that actually does anything, is the thing. Whatever. I think Jeskai is the best control deck and no more Turbofog. I think Jeskai is the best control deck of the ones we know about thus far. I think Jeskai is better than Esper. Largely on the back of Explosion just being messed up. Clarion's honestly really impressive too. As is having Nova to, like, actually be able to kill a Carnage Tyrant. However, there could be control decks that have not been discovered yet. Jeskai's better mana too, yep, for sure. To be honest, the Esper mana is not bad, but the Esper mana is not bad at all. But the Jeskai mana is, like, a fair amount better. Hey, Alex. What's this? Draw 2, deal. Draw 2 resolves. Yeah, I'm discarding Clarion. We are going to need to kill Electromancers at some point, but whatever. I'm just going to use a binding on this if I can. Not using a counter spell on a Drake when we have all this removal in hand. I can also just Justice Strike it. Obviously Niv Mizzet's a bit scary, but we didn't see a Niv Mizzet against this opponent earlier. And they drew 1,000,000 cards, so... Alright, resolves. Yeah, I suspect you could probably build Turbo Fog to be good against Green-Black. In its current form, I don't think it's good against Green-Black, though. Problem is, in its current form, you're, like, very reliant on Search for Azcanta. Which, Green-Black is really good at killing, when you aren't meaningfully interacting with them with counterspells anyway. Like... Green-Black's just so good at killing Search for Azcanta, and that's really rough for the Turbo Fog deck. Oh, could I have killed them here with Explosion? That's possible, I could have. Didn't actually think about that. Well, it seems very easy for Turbo Fog, actually. Interesting. I was struggling a lot, but obviously your list is quite a bit different to mine. I just found they kept blowing up my search for Azcantas, and then I didn't know how I ever won the game. Was the problem. Have I seen the Jeskai list that runs Aza's Gateway? I have. I am not entirely convinced. Do I even need to activate this anymore? Like, what am I doing with activating Azcanta? I'm discarding so many cards as it is. I'm going to keep this on top, just like draw my land drop. Discard less cards here. We have a quantity of Teferis. That's true, the current lists... I guess they have Plaguecrafter. The current lists don't have many contempts in the main. That is a very good point, Adam. Should probably fight over this. We have an autumn of Teferis. Oh my god. Alright, I guess I'm fighting over this. Honestly, just expansion it. Keep as many hard counters in hand as possible. It's not like I need to draw cards off this. Like, I have infinite cards at the moment. I lethal them if I win the counter war. I guess. That's fair. Okay, Ionize. I only deal 3 this turn then, but then I can... The thing is, I have 2 more explosions in my deck. I'm gonna find them really easily with Azcanta if I want. And Teferi pluses. I'm gonna find expansion explosion. No! 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 I wanted to live the dream! No! 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 Oh! Wow. My heart just literally shattered. Literally shattered. Oh. Yeah, if only I'd held the expansion for the kicked fight with fire. Such a pun. Oh my god, magic's great. Whatever, I'm just gonna put this stuff back in the deck. Nope. I just don't want to be discarding a million cards every turn. Here come the burn spells. Ooh. Explosion. How explosive. Alright. This seems reasonable. Seems like some reasonable magic is going on here. Plus my Teferi. Eat your land. Now this is exceedingly Autumn 6 reasonable. Cast this Chemister's Insight. Blow up your lands. Stone Rains. So many Stone Rains. Oh my god. Stone Rains make me truly happy. I do need to play faster. Time is a concern. I've been playing this game heinously slowly. Despite, like, the fact I could never possibly lose it. Fairly normal for me, to be honest. Alright, I think we're gonna be fine. Yeah, we're gonna kill them with Explosion. That's the plan. So this is Lethal Explosion. Oh my god, we exile so many lands. I kinda want to do it for one less just so I can exile all their lands. It's also, it's not quite 6 Stone Rains Nucleo, the game ends with the triggers on the stack. Oh, we've seen the entire deck like twice with Azcanta at this point, I think, Alex. Alright. Let's bring in some Disdainful Strokes and Negates. A Banefire and an Explosion. A big fat whale. Take out these Clarions. Probably take out these COAs. It would. I really like. That's my single favorite feature of Arena. the fact you see the top card of your library once you've looked through your entire library with Azcanta. It's so adorable. We do have to kill, what's it called? Nivmiz. Oh yeah, we bought it in the Shalais last time. Those were actually kind of decent. Don't know what we bought out now though. I guess we can take out this blink. The blink's like fine. They have Goblin Electromancer, which is really scary for us. I almost wonder if on the draw you just don't want Shalais because you need more answers to Electromancer. Thanks, Tanner. Appreciate it. I'm actually just wondering if I just want a couple COAs on the draw over the Shalais. The Shalais are like quite good, but I'm just worried about like falling behind too much against Electromancer. It is true, JD. Most people not keeping track of that. You didn't come here to not watch me keep this. Let's be honest. That isn't an Electromancer. That's really rude. I think we're dead. It's like an aggressive stance, but I think we're dead. Like, our hand was already, like, kind of medium, and now there's a search for Azcanta on the board. Which is, not very beatable now that people can't fit many Field of Ruins in their mana base. On a positive note, these COAs might do something. Yes! Taste it. Alright, I'm gonna take this. Would like to cast this COA. Look at me being so smart, having this in the deck instead of a Shalai. How much better than a Shalai was that there, getting a Negate out their hand? So that's why the Drakes are in their deck. They get to fill their graveyard with them off search. That makes sense. That's why you play Crackling Drake. Ooh, they're missing land drops over there. I kind of just want to Insight, hit my land drops. Incoming 1 mana Syncopate from opponent. I think I'm going to shock myself and pass the turn. Two damage definitely matters, because they do have a Banefire in their deck. They have at least one Banefire in their deck. Like, we played against them earlier, so we know this, but... I think it's fine. Alright, I'm gonna aggro COA. I'm gonna fight over this. God, this Electromancer is amazing. say we were going to try out Electromancers in our sideboard. I think we did. I don't know how you fit them in though. We already have like lots of cards to control mirror. Don't know how we ever win anymore. I mean, the Electromancer let them cast 2 counterspells and hold off a counterspell here. It's actually just kind of great. It's also dealt enough damage that Banefire is just going to kill us at some point. Slam Teferi, Prey. I appreciate the optimism. God, Search is flipping too. I guess we have to do this. Like way too far behind to actually respect them having a counterspell, even though they shocked themselves. So if we draw Field of Ruin next turn, and they brick off on Banefire for the entire game. Oh my god, Alex. Rao-Zarek. I keep calling this Rao-Zarek. It's like clearly not the card's name, but... They didn't flip that Search or Azcanta. I guess they figure they're not activating it this turn. Don't know what we're drawing to. This card is just like legitimately so good. Like we're having to keep in these clunky answers to it to like stand a chance. Resolves. Yeah, I think we can move on here. I agree. Opponent's deck is legit better than Modern Blue Moon head to head. I could quite believe that, Daniela. Blood Moon turns off their mana base. It turns all their Izzet Guild Gates into mountains. That's like actually kind of problematic. I'm actually just going to keep these in over the Shalais. I think I just need to be able to kill Electromancers. Shalai is quite good in this matchup, but I'm just going to run it back like this. Alright, I am on the play. Probably more this, I guess. What are my odds to draw a blue source? Like 15 blue sources? So it's like 15 and 53. So it's like what? 20% per turn, 25% per turn. It's really hard, Daniela. I'm trying to be responsible. I'm trying my hardest. It's so hard. You don't understand. Wow, this hand is so much better. Easy mulligan. Easiest mulligan of my life. Hey Dokaboy, it's going great. It is going very well, thank you. Oh. Yes, that's awkward. Beating this card is going to take some work if they name Teferi. Oh. Fine. We get to scry every turn for the rest of the game. That's pretty nice. I like scrying every turn. Also, don't they have Azcantas in that deck? I'm not imagining that, right? I don't want to dump this, just like find counter magic and land drops for the time being. It's like aggressive, but am I shocking myself? What could I possibly want to shock myself for? This is the other reason we clear out. I mean, they literally didn't name Teferi, to be fair. Resolves. You've cast Reach Through Mists. I just don't know what we're Negate plus expansioning though is the problem. Alright, land drops are great. Sneak. Yeah, I have a Blink of an Eye. I think I boarded it out. Yeah, it's in the board, sadly. Ugh. I'm gonna do this. It's like a bit scary to tap lower mana, but I just need extra cards at the moment. Those are not the best cards in the world. Oh wow, Dokamoy. That's amazing. Expansion OP. Land drop. This is our only answer to this. I don't think I care about the Spyglass though. I think I just want land drops. I'm just gonna ditch that. Awesome. Yeah, I've been siding Carnage Tyrant in the mirror match. Black-green mirror. I think it's good. Still not like 100% sure, but I'm pretty sure it's good. It's very good at killing planeswalkers. It's like the main thing. It is like disgusting at killing planeswalkers. Right, this might be letting this resolve might be a mistake, but this is the world we live in. Could fully believe that this is a mistake. Maybe I should have Ionized and then Justice Struck. I guess it works out kind of the same. Well, we make them spend like an extra mana. So, if we do it that way around. Convermin, the second month. Glad you enjoyed the first month enough to come back. Thank you for continuing to be a Knight of Autumn. Appreciate you. Yeah, I really want to slam Nezahal next turn. Charlie, I agree with that. Very interested in slamming this Nezzy. Am I ionizing? I think I am. Yeah, I think I fight this, I agree. Awesome. Land, land, land. Come on. Come on. Not a land. That is, in fact, a land. So I am reliably informed. Rawr. I'd attempt to like make whale noises, but I'm not sure that's very in my range. Thanks, Enrique. Very, very happy with the top 8. Oh boy. We got ourselves a race. Alright. We got ourselves a race. The 2 damage from this actually speeds up our clock, huh? Alright. Seems decent. Come on. Come on, Nezzy. I believe in you. If they cast a spell, there is a decent chance they die. 7 isn't... I mean, this is kind of a 6-5, if we're being honest. Because they're drawing a card every turn. I'm pretty sure we win this. I can't figure out how we don't win this. I'm gonna keep this, I think. In that it is a lethal spell, on top of like everything else we have going on here. This game is... This is certainly something. Nucleo. Agreed. Alright. Cast a spell. I dare you. Dare you. Oh. I want to cancel that one. I have double counter backup. Then the Ionize has to resolve here, right? There's no world in which the Ionize doesn't resolve. Yeah, just go for it. Agree. Yeah, I have 2 counters to back it. And then they're in big trouble. Ionize. You don't say. Can't think of any reason to use one or other of these over the other, honestly. Actually can't think of any difference here. Another case of Spell Pierce or Burst. Alright, expansion, your Ionize. What is this stack? This stack is something else. The stack is great. Agree. Agree. Oh my gosh. That was awesome. I should screenshot this. Just a sec. I'm pretty keen on this stack. Alright, let's put it down here. did. Yeah, understandable. That was pretty great. Revenge. That was our one loss last league, was that opponent. So, pretty happy with that. Nice revenge victory. Hey Jarvis. Have I faced a black-green? Yeah, we faced it 3 times, currently 2-on-1. We beat it both times last league, but we took a loss to it this league. Oh my god, Blue. That is ridiculous. That is actually ridiculous. What feels key in the green-black matchup? Drawing lots of cards and making sure planeswalkers don't hit the table. The creatures honestly don't matter very much. The creatures, like, you have like 6 sweepers main and another in the board. Like, the creatures just get swept up. But the planeswalkers are really hard to beat, so you have to make sure to counter those. Have enough card advantage to keep going. Sure. I'm gonna keep this hand that actually does not do anything. Apparently. Oh, that is rough, Jarvis. Jeez. That is rough. Would I syncopate something next turn? I guess I might. Like, I want to save this for a planeswalker, but, like, just stopping the branchwalker is going to buy us a lot of time to hit our white mana for this. We've got binding for the first planeswalker. Yes, if they have a second, the binding gets blown up, and then we're in trouble, but... I'll leave a Seeker. This one's just so much smaller than Branchwalker. I'm just gonna let this resolve. Whatever. Go crazy. Alright, drew a white source. Because we're great. Four-mana Vraska's fairly frightening. It means they're just drawing good cards for the rest of the game, because they get to sack their lands away. It also means you can never flip an Azcanta. This is... Oh, they ditched the... What? Oh, they need land drops. Huh. That makes sense. We got there. We figured it out. They needed land drops. So they ditched the Jade Light. I just assumed they were keeping the Jade Light. Right. Makes sense. Either that or they just didn't have a second green mana. That's also possible. Good job, Dokamoy. Making your first day 2. Your opponent's lands are somewhat mismatching. Well, I think we're gonna be given a freebie here. Get that distinct suspicion. We do need to hit our land drops. Drawing a land next turn would be great. Well, back on theme with the early concessions. Cool. Like it. I respect it. I respect the early concessions. So you're unsure on Negate versus Cannonade. As the... Oh, we want popping over, of course. We were unsure on Negate versus Cannonade versus Binding. I think I'm gonna keep trying out the Binding, but I think all of these 3 are like pretty medium. On the play, I like Negate. I think on the draw, it feels a bit worse because they're like much more likely to be able to sneak something underneath with a duress backup. Maybe it should be Cannonade on the draw, Negate on the play. I'm still not convinced about this. I'm gonna try it out again. One more time. Like, it's really awkward that it doesn't kill Jade Lights some percentage of the time. It doesn't kill Squires some percentage of the time, but... the Shalais are there primarily for... I'm going to keep this and draw a blue source, and it's going to be great. The Shalais are there primarily for mono red, but they can come in some other places too. Against mono red, they turn off risk factor, and they take 2 burn spells to kill if your opponent doesn't have a fight with fire. Yeah, you can probably bring them in against Dimir too, that's legit. Let's just get this down. It's not like we're holding up much anyway, we can like expansion or duress, but that's it. What do they keep on top, Squire? Hey, here it is. Good question, Dokamoy. I think if you take the most stock build of Jeskai and the most stock build of green-black, that Jeskai is favoured. But I think it's pretty easy to make it favoured for black-green if you really want to. Mostly involves putting a pile of dinosaurs in your sideboard. By dinosaurs I mean specifically, what's it called? Carnage Tyrant. What's my favourite and what's strongest? My favourite to play is Turbo Fog, but we don't talk about that anymore, because I was losing with it a lot. I really love Black-Green. Black-Green's like... Black-Green is very, very fun to play. It's also probably the strongest at the moment. I don't need another blue source quite yet. I do want to flip this search at some point in this game. I don't know. I don't know if I'm meant to keep that or not. Right, Insight is great. I guess I just play my land and pass the turn here. I'm gonna have the Clarion this board at some point. Why not settle? Because everyone has so much to do with their mana at the moment. Like, the black-green decks have all these recursion loops, that means they always have stuff to do with their mana. Alright. The mono red decks board in Fight with Fires against you, etc, etc. Admittedly, Settle is very good against Carnage Tyrant recursion. Like, that's legit. Like, you have to beat Carnage Tyrant somehow. But kind of just hoping people don't play Carnage Tyrants, because I don't know how you ever actually realistically beat them anyway, if people start doing that. Tapping out for this is so rough. Because they get to resolve a Vivian. I don't know how we ever beat a Vivian at the moment. Okay, I can pass the turn and draw 2 and hope to find a Stroke. Oh yeah, Detection Tower is one way to beat Carnage Tyrant. Detection Tower is better in Esper. Like, Detection Tower is a legit way for Esper to beat Carnage Tyrant. I don't think it... I think it's probably not good enough in Jeskai, to be honest. Alright. Settle the Wreckage, apparently in the format. This is the other thing, you don't actually have to play Settle the Wreckage to have Settle the Wreckage in your deck secretly, right? People just play around it anyway. So it's like, whatever. Thanks, Harlook. Appreciate it. That's fair, Rossum. They typically only have like one Vraska 4 in their deck. So it's like really unlikely they even have that as a follow-up. That's very fair. That's a very good point. Oh, well, kind of forced to do this turn. They get to resolve a Planeswalker. We have a Teferi that can minus on a Planeswalker, so it's not like the end of the world. I'm going to hold up this for a Duress. Because they put a Duress in the yard, which I think means it's not unlikely they have one in hand. If they go to Duress us, we can fire a Duress back though. Yeah, exactly. We get to copy Duress now. If they play around Disdainful Stroke. This is fine. All that stuff just gets swept away anyway, in time. Grim. Interesting, they're really looking for lands here. They just have a pile of Carnage Tyrants in hand. I'm gonna ditch this, we've already got one in the yard anyway. Right, Teferi plus have 3 mana open, X equals 2. Seems good. Oh, that's true. If Vivian comes in, she probably just kills Azcanta and then Banefire kills her. I did not think of that. Like, the Azcanta's, like, partially insulating us against Planeswalkers on that basis. It's kind of weird. Hopefully they don't have another Eldest Reborn in hand. Alright, they do not. Thank God. That'd be really problematic. They are in fact attacking Teferi. Awesome. Means they probably don't have an answer in hand right here. We could try and Fine Broker back the Eldest Reborn, I guess. Nope. Just doing nothing. Sure. Right, so we kind of want to find a Clarion more than anything else. This is a good card. I could Banefire the Jade Light and then have double counter up. How do we feel about that? Yeah, I think I agree. Top and Banefire does seem exceedingly nice. Awesome. Alright. Now we just have a... we can even go like Stroke plus Insight depending on what they do, which is amazing. Just in a great position here. Whoa. Whoa. Whoa, I F6'd. The joys of F6ing. This is fine. Still like miles ahead. Doesn't matter. That is obviously not ideal, but I still don't know how we like lose this game if they don't have Carnage Tyrants, so it doesn't really matter. It's like not even certain that it's correct to counter that. Alright, so if I Stroke this, I get to draw 2. You'd like to... I just get really lazy when I'm streaming, because like... I don't know. I fully realise that was not ideal. Maybe this is greedy. We're kind of putting ourselves on drawing removal of some description. I guess we have Explosion though, so we can like definitely kill one of them. You also just don't have default on board next turn anyway. Alright. I'm gonna flip this now. Make sure it doesn't like randomly die somehow. Already have a Clarion to follow up the Cannonade with. I guess I just want to find land drops so I can use Azcanta as much as possible. Like, land drops are so good once you have Azcanta in play. Azcanta flipped. Deafening Clarion. Yeah, I assume Deafening Clarion's pretty terrifying. Alright, as long as they don't draw a Carnage Tyrant, we just, like, can't lose this game. I could try and be greedy and syncopate this. I just don't feel like there's any reason to be greedy at this point. What could they resolve, though, that we even care about? I guess a Bloodfast? Like, vaguely care about, but that would have been resolved at some point by now. Whatever. Is this a Rhino Stampede stream? There's some work going on up on the roof. It's been, like, pretty quiet up until now. Imagine it will simmer down soon enough. Serious demolition work. Oh my god. It is not that extreme. Just pass the turn. So I probably just Ionize this, since they're going to take that regardless. Cool. Whatever. You can hear the... Oh my god, Nuclear. That's the actual good response. The hoofprints of the impending Carnage Tyrant. Alright, well that was... Neither of those games were particularly competitive. I guess that first one they got me pretty low, but... They just weren't able to, like, monopolize the window to slam a Planeswalker. This is what you played this week, Michael. It's really good. Jeskai is sweet. Jeskai is quite sweet. Right. Why no Settle the Wreckage? Because people have a lot of uses for their mana at the moment, between Fight with Fire, recursion loops, etc., etc. Giving people lands is much worse than it's ever been before. This is a bit scary. I haven't played against Watery Grave yet with the stack. Jeskai felt a little mopey in testing. I mean, it is a little mopey, but it's also pretty good at overpowering its opponents if it can survive through the early game, so I'm just going to play this. If they have a Syncopate, then so be it. Cool. I guess now they can resolve Thief of Sanity. Alright, that's fine. That is A-okay. It is a 1-3, in fact. I honestly suspect the Seal Away might not be terrible. I think I'm going to put it in the graveyard. Might end up regretting that. If I want to find land drops. Or insights. Notion Rain. Ooh, would I like a Notion Rain? I kind of would. Kind of would like a Notion Rain. I think us scrying 2, drawing 2 is better than our opponent doing it, so I think this actually works out pretty nicely for us. Infinite turns of Chance for Glory. What? That's amazing. Is that the Lich's Mastery deck, Michael? We tried that out on Arena. It did not go very well. But can we just jam a expansion explosion into ban? I mean, the card is quite something. Maybe you could. Maybe you could. You actually, like, don't have a terrible point there, Adam. It's the sort of card that's, like, make sure you just, like, don't whiff in the mid-game in Bant anymore. It's interesting. I might have to look into that. That's, like, not a terrible idea. It also fights counterspells game 1 against control decks, which is really nice for Bant. It's actually really interesting. I might have to take a look at that. You play Lich's Mastery, Alex, which says you cannot lose the game. And then you proceed to Mirari Conjecture, back your chance for glories. Not with Lich's what? What other way is there? Oh, sorry. I thought you meant there was another way of doing it. Yeah. Yeah, Lich's Mastery is sick. Lich's Mastery, chance for glory, living the life. I really want the Syncopate, and I think I just want this land drop too. Putting cards in the yard for search is nice though, and I think we're going to find lands between the extra draw and our scry triggers. So I think I'm going to get greedy here. This is fine. Yep, exactly. You chance for glory on their end step, untap Lich's Mastery, and then in your extra turn you start comboing. It's really sweet. It's arguably not very good, but it is really sweet. And then you just have a bunch of like 3 mana Nexus of Fates in your deck that you can recur with Mirari Conjecture. Right, we get lots of looks at lands here, so I'm not too worried. He said we get lots of looks at lands here, so I am not too worried. Deck, if you'd like to listen to that kind request. We took 10% off the Lazav clock, we sure did. Yeah, you can Cleansing Nova away Lich's Mastery. Alright, deck. Believing in ya. It's a really sad one to throw away. Come on. Come on. Maybe I was meant to seal away on the end of their turn, so I didn't have to discard here. This was bad. This was really bad. I should have just done that. Oh well. Don't imagine discarding a Clarion is going to be too relevant against their deck. Like, the Lazav looks really non-threatening now, but if a Thief of Sanity ever hits the yard, it becomes problematic. Doom resolves. Sure. Right, let us strike some justice into their heart. Yep, strike plus seal. That's the plan. Just clear their board. I should have sealed this last time, but it's probably not going to matter. It's kind of scary. They only activated the Doom Whisperer once. Must have really liked what they saw on top. Island. Deal. Yes. Thank you. I wish we had the Ionize right now. Ionize would be delightful. I think I'm still slamming Teferi though. Negate and Syncopate in hand. Yeah. Ugh. Jeez. I mean, it was a good spell pass. You can't deny the Matt Rossum. It was a good spell pass. I guess if you figure the whole meta is like Jeskai Control and Planeswalker heavy green-black, then it still looks a bit sketch. Wow, what? They have nothing to punish us? Never mind, can't possibly lose, apparently. Yeah, I can imagine that. Awesome, that's kind of great. Well, don't know how they actually win this game. So we got that going for us. We'll just take the Cleansing Nova or the backup search. I guess they could draw a Field of Ruin, whatever. Alright. And we have Ionize up and Azcanta activation. This is the best avatar, it's not close. Guess I counter this. It's not even like the end of the world, but I don't really want them getting a Teferi in 2 turns. Triple spell pierce, oh my god. With their 2 cards in hand, that would be impressive. So unlucky. Alright. So we have activation plus Ionize, so I can't cast Azcanta this turn. So I just never want to miss my Azcanta activation. This expansion explosion is so great. We're just like protecting ourselves from them having a counter spell to back anything up with. And then like in a few turns it'll just win the game on its own. So good. Am I just firing off? I guess I've got my lander up so I don't need to fire off Insight here. I'm wondering if I shock myself or not. Like shock myself past turn. Then I can Azcanta for the most possible looks at an Ionize. What do I need 5 mana for though? I guess Ionize with expansion backup. It's really unlikely. Banefire is a risk, yeah. It's not like unreasonable. I'm just gonna play this tapped. This is fine. Like they didn't have an expansion to protect or a counterspell to protect Nicol Bolas that turn, so I have to assume they just like that we just don't need this expansion up ever. I'm gonna fire off Insight first, so it gives us info for the Azcanta activation. Probably not gonna matter at all, but hey. Right, am I running out to Teferi? If they had an Eldest Reborn, they would have cast it by now, I think. So I suspect the answer is yes. And then we still have Activate Azcanta, Ionize up. If we find an Ionize off the activation, they can content this, and that's fine. We have to get through the contempts at some point. Just like, doesn't really matter. Cool. Herp-a-derp-a-derp. They are very dead. It's just going to take us a minute. Yeah, we could just try double explosioning them. That is reasonable. I'm going to take the Ionize over the Teferi, weirdly. And then I think I'm just going to go for the end of turn explosion. It's 1, 7 into 8. Wait, that isn't quite enough, right? 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. No, we're 1 short of double explosion kill. But then Ionize kills them at any point for the rest of the game, which I guess is acceptable. And if this trades with a counter spell, that's also fine with me. It's also a-okay. Lazav. Interesting. I guess I'm just gonna counter that. It's like not clear that it's like I even want to explosion this turn anyway, and this makes sure the double explosion is actually lethal. That's fair. This is like the final 2 points. Final 1 point. What am I doing? I guess I kind of don't want to discard the land. That's fair. I'm going to discard the Clarion. Missing my land drop would just like not excite me. Cool. Right, now we go end of turn explosion. Do we have Ionize back up on the second explosion? Make sure we don't mill out. I mean, you get to target them with the second explosion, but fair point. Milling out but to your own explosions would be a glorious death, though. I'd kind of be okay with that. If that's the way we go down. So we actually have Ionize back up on the second one, which is great. Keep it. Herp a derp. Maybe I meant to keep the blink. Something could go wrong. They could like sneak a bolus into play. Who knows? Who knows? Alright. Explosion. Target you. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. This game was not particularly competitive. They like spell pierced our Teferi and then did nothing. Which, you know, I'm into. Alright. So we want the extra explosion against them, 100%. Probably want these Disdainful Strokes. Definitely want to cut some of the removal. The problem is they're going to have the stupid 2/2. It's quite scary. So I guess we keep the strikes and the sea always, but like cut down on sweepers on that basis. Banefire seems fine, helps kill planeswalkers. You can make a draw, you can indeed. Thanks, troll, appreciate it. I probably want these negates, I assume. I don't know that I want all three, but Shalai for discard. I don't know. I feel like they're gonna have a bunch of contempts in their deck post board still. Having Shalai in our deck is just gonna like give them targets to use those contempts on that like actually get a 1-for-1. As opposed to the Teferis where they can just like never 1-for-1 with it. This blink of an eye, I think I want it. Like bouncing, if we bounce a planeswalker we can kill it on the way back down. I definitely want at least 2 Sealways as the thing, and I might want a third. Because a Resolved Thief of Sanity just kill us. It's a really awkward answer to Thief of Sanity though. Since you let them untap with their mana up. That's fair. I wonder if I just want Clarions over the Sealways on that basis. If it's like only Thief that we're scared of. These do kill Bolus, but... I'm gonna bring a Clarion in. It seems fine. Yeah, Resolve Bolus and Doom Whisperer, those are good points, for sure. I don't find Doom Whisperer too scary. Teferi Tuck is like often going to be good against Doom Whisperer until like the very late game. I think this is actually a mulligan. I know I never mulligan, but that doesn't do very much. Alright, this is way better. We just need to hit our land drops. Awesome. Alright, this hand is great now. With an answer to Thief, a counterspell, we probably have some card draw question mark if they fire off a Notion Rain. Oh, awesome Og. That's exciting. Happy birthday. Do you have anything nice planned? Alright, 100%. Just Expansion Explosion is so messed up. The fact that, like, my Sphinx's Revelation just gets to do this is so ridiculous. We just want land drops, right? So this goes in the graveyard 100%. I think I want to keep this. It's like kind of a greedy keep. If they fire off another Notion Rain, it's clearly great. If they fire off a discard spell, I think it's good. I think it's good against a discard spell. We still have 2 looks at a land this way. I guess 3 looks to have our 4th land. This is tough. Oh, whatever. That still sounds pretty fun, Og. Decent birthday. You can finally buy and or rent. Choose one of the above. Or both, I guess. Alright. This hand's panning out nicely. Next time we get to go search with Ionize backup. I don't know what I'm going to do if they cast a Bolus. You're not meant to make me actually choose when I say that. They don't have a Spell Pierce. I get to Fairy Tuck this. Is the problem. But I guess just Teferi plus is also great. Yeah, maybe we Ionize it? I don't know. Ionizing it's probably fine. If we have all these Justice Strikes for it, but the Justice Strikes are going to do something at some point. I don't really want them getting the 2-for-1. Free Teferi estate. Alright. If they have land Eldest Reborn, so be it. Otherwise this game is probably quite over. Like, they can Contempt and we untap and play a new one. Ooh. If they do, I just play another Teferi. That's true, and I get to tuck the Eldest Reborn. Yeah. I guess that's just A-okay. Just like nothing even matters once you have Teferi in play. Keep forgetting that. Occasionally I forget that nothing even matters once Teferi is in play. One day I'll figure that out. Alright. That's not very good, to be fair. I mean, we can answer Thief of Sanity, I guess, but bolus. Well then. I think this counts as punishment for ionizing the bolus. This is suitable punishment. Have regrets. Sitting here with 2 Justice Strikes in hand, staring down a Spyglass. Nothing even matters with Teferi in play. An excellent point, Michael. An excellent point. Right on time. Did we board out the blink of an eye too? We did. So we have the 1 Ixalan's binding now. God damn it, Autumn. Why do you do this? Yes, we're going to deny them that. We're going to use up the card they're going to take anyway for the sake of denying them that surveil value. Slam double Teferi. Oh my god. You can use the untap in your end step to flash in the second one. Alright, that's the best possible draw. Not close. Not even close. So it even plays for a counterspell, which is just like disgusting. Even discards a Teferi. That's what we're really talking about. Even discards a Teferi. Actual Jace's ingenuity. What more could you possibly want? This gets spell pierced. I guess it's kind of whatever. I'm still gonna do it. I want to find an Ionize for next turn. Or an unbeatable magic card. That'll also do. Is there any reason not to get this down tapped? I can't think of any. This is probably just getting countered if we're being realistic. Oh well. Sure, I'm not going to fight over this because I feel like that is going to have another counter anyway. Yeah, I can copy the counter. Like, obviously this is absurd if it resolves. It's Like, probably unbeatable. I guess. I don't know, I feel like I'm not losing at the moment though, Charlie, is the thing. Like, we're just staring at each other, and I'm hitting my land drops and they aren't. It's not like I'm in a bad position here. We are running out of win conditions though. Yeah, we need to resolve a binding, realistically. I don't think we're ever winning with Explosion this game. Even if we just have the two. Even if we have the 2 copies in our deck, I don't think we're winning with Explosion this game is the thing. Just because, like, counter magic makes it a lot harder to do that post board. So I think we're all in on resolving a binding. And the card advantage from Azcanta is a way to potentially resolve a binding, so... The 7/7 dinos on the board. ASM probably meant to board it in these post-board games based on how this is going. What is this? Interesting. Top 8 does not qualify me. Top 8's just got me like a couple $100 worth of Modo product. You have to win the whole thing to qualify. Luckily, I can already go to that PT because of my silver invite, but getting an actual qualification would have obviously been great. It was for Cleveland. Which I am technically able to go to anyway, because silver, but... I think I'm just going to pass the turn here. If they go to duress me, I don't want to have a good card in hand. I want to let it resolve and then activate Azcanta afterwards. Do I need funds to get to for my flights for the PT? I mean, like, it is not being paid for by Wizards, so I need to get there somehow. That is accurate. Am I planning some GPs? Yes. I'm going to be at Lille. I'm going to be at Atlanta, then Warsaw, then Liverpool this year are my plans. Those are the ones I'm planning on for like the rest of this year. I'm very excited about them all. I guess Warsaw's like kind of medium just because it's like limited GP, but the other 3 are very exciting. Alright, I just need to find this binding and then this game ends. Land drop, please. Please, thank you. Thank you, deck. You're so giving. You're so good to me. What is this? Resolves. Adorable. This thing can return my Teferi to my hand. Can be able to mess up the Sabelle? Yeah, I could. I don't know, I feel like if they draw a Searcher Azcanta or something like that, I don't want to have to fight over it. But I could just undo the Sabelle, screw up their draws. If they leave lots on top, I'm probably motivated to screw up the Sabelle. Thing is, then we're shuffling back our garbage from the bottom end, and we really want to find it binding as soon as possible as well. So there's like some motivation to not reshuffle that. Yeah, green-black's very ahead of the other decks for sure. That's a lot of cards you kept on top there. Alright, whatever, I'm probably just going to field them, if we're being honest. If we're being honest, I am probably just going to field to ruin them, because they left 3 cards on top. Which is a lot of cards. Does it matter? Doesn't matter. Cool. We'll find a binding sooner or later. I kind of want like a third counter spell before we go for the binding anyway. So this isn't the end of the world. I am just going to cast a Teferi next turn though. That's going to be great. Cast my 5 mana, do nothing. Rude. Yes, I just like take my 2-3 damage. Stop their surveilling. I believe black-green is favoured, but I believe it is build dependent. As with everything. I think in general black-green's going to be favoured there. But like, it's possible that, like, there are some builds of black-green that are not favoured against some builds of mono-red. So. But in general, I would say black-green is a very slight favourite. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. We have found ourselves a win con. We've certainly found ourselves a win con. This is only 13, right? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So we do it next turn. I'm just going to discard a Teferi. We now don't need to protect these Teferis so much, because we have found a way to win this game. As it happens. Kind of want to counter that just so Banefire kills them. I guess I'm going to activate Azcanta first. I really don't want this getting duressed or anything of that nature. As it is, we kill them if we draw a land. Which is still fine, sounds perfectly acceptable to me. Awesome. Alright, target you. This Banefire is great. This Banefire is just so good. People should just put a Banefire in their Jeskai sideboards. It's so ridiculous. Nice Sorcerer Spyglass. Oh. I guess it was the Azcanta that won us the game anyway, but it is CMC 15 on the stack. Oh my god, Ty. Oh, easy 3-1. Let's get back-to-back 4-1s. I'm kind of liking this. Kind of liking this. I don't know what to do next. Like, I'm really enjoying just playing Jeskai. It's like a nice break from black-green. We're winning a lot, which is also nice. Like, I'm aware I did say I'd do some black-green on stream, but this is really fun. You just draw so many cards. Run a 1000-Year Storm in the board. Like, stack up those Banefires. Oh my gosh. Gosh, gosh, gosh. Well, so far the COAs have not felt noticeably worse than Lava Coils. Like, we've played like against a decent variety of decks. I guess it was a bit worse against Thief of Sanity than Lava Coil, but not like the end of the world. Ship you the Jeskai list that Jadine would let me play. Teferi is 60. Teferi is a lot of dollars. Honestly, if I could figure out a way to beat Carnage Tyrant consistently, I would consider playing Jeskai in Leo, but I don't know how you beat Carnage Tyrant out of black-green consistently. Like, you could do it with Settle the Wreckage, but I think Settle the Wreckage makes your deck worse in general, even if it helps against that one specific problem. This is fine. It needs land drops, but has everything else it wants. Elves on the play is good against Syncopate on 2. I'll say that much. Yeah, Settle's just not very appealing at the moment. If that's the one answer to Carnage Tyrant recursion, then like it's a pretty sad place. Which deck could beat Jeskai and black green? I mean, if I knew the answer to that, I'd probably be pretty well positioned for this GB, huh? I do not honestly know. Detection Tower's a lot worse against their Carnage Tyrants. So, in Esper, Detection Tower is great against Carnage Tyrant because you have spot removal. But in Jeskai, like all your spot removal is so small. I guess you could seal away the Carnage Tyrant, but you're literally boarding out seal aways against their deck. It's part of the problem. Like setting up Detection Tower, tuck your Carnage Tyrant, they still just recast it in 2 turns and kill you with it. I don't know. It's awkward. Yeah, you can Justice Strike it. That is true. You can Justice Strike it. That is very legit. But again, I board out Justice Strikes against green-black. Justice Strike's just like not a good card against green-black. Tyrants is 7/6. Yep, I would like to hit my land drop next turn, please. Untapped land. Cast Wrath of God. What about Citywide Burst? That doesn't deal with the recursion is the problem. The problem isn't the first Carnage Tyrant. The problem is, like, sometimes the first Carnage Tyrant, but then the second and the third, because they just start fine brokering it and memorialing it and finding it to, like, keep bringing back big dinosaurs. It's hard to keep them off the dinosaur. Like, even if you Nova the first one, it's hard to keep them off it forever. Silent Gravestone. Maybe. Gravestone is very poor against Vivian and Vraska, but it's not bad against them otherwise. Thank God. Oh my lord. That was a roller coaster. It was like third land. Oh, shit. Oh heck. So close. What do you think is well positioned against Golgari? Golgari built for the mirror. I think the mono blue deck is decent against Golgari. It's just like not very good in general though. You could probably build mono blue to beat Golgari and Jeskai, and then just like cross your fingers that you never face any other deck. Like you never face any decks with more than one basic mountain in them. I'm not sure I want to live that life. Okay. I think at this point I almost have to seal away this. They have a Vraska, I don't think I can win anyway, because I'd be tapping out for the Clarion and they'd resolve the Vraska, and I guess then I get to Teferi tuck it, but I think I just need to keep my life total up here. I guess yeah. Take your Jade Light Ranger. No Vraska, please. That isn't even close to what I asked for. You're not listening to me, opponent. Quite disappointing. Wait, what's this about, Dim? You outgrinded black-green with devious cover-up, allowing you to Nova 5 times. That is certainly something. Like, I kind of just have to sweep this board. I don't know really how we win from here, but yes, it starts with us doing this. I guess if we can just draw a land and minus on the Jade Light, maybe. Or even just plus at this point. Have Syncopate up for Eldest Reborn. I hate everything. This game has been slightly frustrating. I think it's fair to say. Sucks to suck. It sure does. Sure does, Nucleo. Wow. Yeah, I mean, this is what happens when you have 11 or 12 check lands in your deck, right? This is just going to happen some percentage of the time. They are tanking. It's really rare for me to play a match where I'm not even remotely worried about timing out before my opponent. I play very slowly. Resolves. They're playing this game quite strangely. They're just refusing to cast anything that could possibly get countered. I don't really understand, but ho hum. Right, Teferi plus. Need to find a Clarion soon. I really want to hold up Ionize here, right? Puts me to 1. Which is not great, but then I can like Teferi minus plus Explosion if need be, depending on what the board looks like. So seems fine. Hopefully they don't have a trophy. Trophy would be, at least it would give me extra mana, so maybe I'd have a chance, but it would be a problem. What? Weird. What do I want to do here? Why are they giving me the opportunity to counter this? Expansion seems great here. Yeah, we can expand, kill their Vraska. Just like hope to draw a sweeper. It's kind of rough. Rough place to be in though. I'm just gonna hold up Ionize. Yeah, it makes sense if they have Vraska 6. They just trigger, like, if they resolve that, they can't lose. It's understandable. Now taking the 2 looks really awkward, but I think we wanted to have Ionize up, so... You cut Llanowar Elves. No, the Golgari Mirror is the one place where you want Llanowar Elves. Lets you get down your Planeswalkers before your opponent, and the Planeswalkers are all that really matter. You need to draw well here. Doesn't entirely qualify. What do I do? I guess I do this for 1 and hope to rip a removal spell for this. It's like my 1 remaining seal away. Derp, derp, derp. Why didn't we copy Trophy? I wanted to have Ionize up in my opponent's turn. Alright, now this is getting weird. Wait, what? Alright, alright. Alright, opponent, if you insist. Why can't I copy it? Yeah, I can contempt their Planeswalker. This is great. A+, would contempt again. Opponent got very fancy. Let's take out their Planeswalker here. Probably gonna lose because they're gonna untap and resolve a Vraska, so that's not great. But nominally alive. Yep. I was right. I wish I wasn't so right. Could I just be wrong for one time in my life? That was a really good draw. That was kind of unreasonable. That was pretty unreasonable. Because now we can kill this, have Ionize up. What is a Teferi? What is a Teferi? If we win this game somehow, I swear, like... We're currently very in this, which is very, very surprising to me. We need to draw a sweeper next turn, but... Teferi is a miserable pile of secrets. Oh my god. Probably gonna cancel that one. It's like not the scariest thing in the world, but I think I'm still obligated to counter it. And then we hope to rip a Clarion here. A removal spell for my Teferi, fuck. I mean, this was the one thing I was scared of when I countered the Vraska. I Okay. Okay. We're on 0 cards, but we need to draw Clarion. And then we need to answer Vrask. Like, we need to draw 2 into Clarion, really. Because otherwise we just, like, never pull ahead. Good news, the Vraska ult does not do anything. I mean, this is an autumn stream, right? This is how things work around here. For those who've not watched the stream before, this is a fairly normal occurrence, if we're being completely honest. Alright, step 1. Now we have the draw 2 for next turn. No! Oh my god! No! No! Alright, this got harder. I actually kind of want my land drops at the moment, weirdly. Okay! Thank you, deck. Awesome. Alright, what are we doing? I can Justice Strike the Pirate. Or I could Explosion to draw 4 on the Pirate. In which case they resolve their Fine Broker. How much can we Explosion for? Alright, I'm going to pass the turn and Justice Strike the Pirate, I think. And counter their stuff. And then next turn we're going to Explosion the new Pirate token. Honestly, if we had more 2-mana removal left in our deck, I might would consider just... Oh no, this is our last Explosion, jeez. Is this pre or... This is pre-board, yeah. This is pre-board. So this is our last Explosion in the deck. So we have to win with Teferi, which is going to be really challenging. Because they have a lot of cards left at the moment. But... Also this Llanowar Elves is lethal, you know, also that. I think I literally have to counter this. I could try exploding into a Clarion, actually. I think that gives me a decent shot at getting back in this game. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I could do like Explosion for 6. Sure. You reckon exploding is the only way to not lose in the long run? I agree. Strong agree. Alright. On top. Woo! Can I kill Vivian? Problem is, if I kill Vivian, they get to Fine Broker her back. I guess now I get to Explosion in their end step, though, which is nice. Yeah. Like, I don't honestly know how I actually win this game, if I'm being completely honest. Because I have to win with Teferi, and they have so many cards we'd have to grind through. So, like, getting to Teferi ult is pretty challenging at this point. But, I mean... Branch Walker resolves. Jeez, they have Khans as well. They are very Planeswalker heavy. They are ready for these control decks. I just have to let this resolve, right? So you get to do it for 5. I guess we're forced to target Vivian so she doesn't ult next turn. And then we hope to hit Teferi plus Wrath. Those were not the requested cards. I guess we have to stop running hot eventually. Right. Wrath. Make like a Capuchin. And we are dead. Okay, bring in some magic cards. Take out some removal. Ooh, we get one more card in. Oh, it's the Nova. Right, I'm being stupid. There we go. Just like move away from spot removal. Bring in all the sweepers. It's fine. We're gonna win the 2 post-board games somehow. Yeah. The top 8 was kind of crazy, Jake. So much black green. So much. Thank you. I appreciate it. So, Llanowar Elves in black-green. I think Llanowar Elves in black-green is excellent in the mirrors, because in the mirrors all that matters is getting down your planeswalkers and having as much mana for recursion loops. I think Llanowar Elves gets a touch worse if people start main decking more Contempts, just because you need to have more actual gas in your deck and less like filler and mana, but in a world where people have more Contempts in the mirrors, but I still think Llanowar Elves is just like very good in the mirror. I think it basically everywhere else it ranges from medium to bad. I guess it's like pretty good against like the blue tempo decks, but against Chain Whirler decks it's obviously bad. Against control decks it gets like eaten up in sweepers. Against tokens it's really bad because you're looking to cast Finality at least once in the game. So like you're just like hurling a card into the graveyard when that happens, and like ramping out your creatures against the tokens deck just doesn't do anything. So like there are just lots of matchups where it's just like not very good, but it is very good in the mirror. Would I change anything about my list? I think Plaguecraft is not very well positioned if you're playing mirror matches all the time. So probably move away from that card slightly. Playcrafter is confirmed bad in the mirror. It's quite good against Jeskai is the problem, but I think you can move away from Playcrafter. I think you want some Contempts in the main now, like at least one, because Contempt is very good in the mirror. Just because like the Planeswalkers are what matters and it kills Planeswalkers, right? I don't know what I do with the Plaguecrafters. I might just cut them outright. What matchups did I fear with black-green? Honestly, not really anything. I think black-green is pretty amazing. Contempt is bad versus the small decks. Kind of. Like, you need a way to kill Phoenix out of the small red decks. And you do need a way to kill Honor Guard out of the white decks. Or like a Danto Vanguard sometimes, so that card's not terribly scary. It's not like Contempt is bad there. No Essence Scatter. What creatures do you even want to counter? So we don't want to counter this. I guess I can just use the Syncopate. Save the Negate. Alright. Next time we can go like Clarion, Negate back up. I guess using Syncopate's a bit awkward if they find Broker at some point. I think in general the efficiency of the Negate's going to matter, like pairing it with a Clarion. Like, I just don't think there are many creatures in Standard you actually want to counter that you consistently get an opportunity to counter. Using this up is like a bit awkward, but that's why we bought in the fourth one, right? So it's fine. Alright. Fine, bro. Rawr! Just grumble, grumble, grumble. Jeez. That is brutal. We are in a lot of trouble. We are in a lot of trouble. Because, I take the Vraska here, obviously, and then they just find Broker it back. Take Trophy, so they can't deploy the Find Broker this turn. Yeah, then it doesn't have a target. That gets really awkward though. Like, I think I just have to force them to cast this Find Broker, sweep their board, and hope to draw an answer for Vraska, maybe. Yeah, it doesn't let us slam the Teferi though, because they have a Find Broker in play. They're just gonna have 6 power. Amy with the raid. Nice to see you, Amy. I'm just going to hide this info from them. They're going to play Find Broker, I'm going to Nova their board, and we're going to cross our fingers that they don't draw a land next turn. That is the plan. They won't draw a land, we will draw a counter, and life will move on. I mean, taking Vraska means we get to, like, Nova here and clear the board. And then, like, cross our fingers that they don't have the 6th mana for Vraska. Yeah, the Insight's, like, not a terrible draw. I think I just have to Wrath, though. Aw, Amy. Yeah, it's been 7 months already. It's kind of crazy. It's kind of great. Thank you so much for the continued support. It means a lot to me. I have a feeling they're going to have their 6th land next turn. Let's find a Disdainful Stroke, huh? Disdainful Stroke would be excellent. That is not a Disdainful Stroke. I am still going to rep it anyway, but probably doesn't make a difference. Feeling pretty dead right now, if we're being completely honest. Vivian? Oh, sure. I guess that's a Teferi on Suspend too, but there are worse things for them to be casting right now. Alright. How's the games been today? They've been pretty good. New Standard is fun. We've been playing Jeskai all day. We like 4-1'd our first league, which was nice. I should have shocked the Foundry and pretended you have no poker face. Oh my god. Alright, well... we need them to brick on a land again, apparently. So that's a problem. I'm going to discard this Clifftop Retreat. Then they're going to brick on a land. We're going to Teferi tuck this and somehow get back in this game. We gotta brew something to dominate green black. Thing is, it also has to be able to beat the control decks. That is the problem, right? That is the problem. Some kind of ramp deck. Yeah, Star of Extinction is nice. But like, how do you beat the control decks of a ramp deck is the problem. Carnage Tyrant ramp. Maybe. Interesting. I wonder if you can build ramp with like Find Finality and Carnage Tyrant. Multiple Nezahal main. That is interesting. Green black? Yeah, Tyrant's good against green black. Tyrant's good against green black if you have other creatures, I should say. Like, if hypothetically I had creatures in my deck, I had Carnage Tyrants in my deck, they wouldn't be good in this matchup because my opponent has Eldest Reborn and Playcrafter. But like, if you have it in your like Druid of the Cow deck, then suddenly Carnage Tyrant's pretty good. Yeah, I think Star of Extinction's a possible avenue to beating green black for sure. Would definitely agree with that assessment. What is this? Yeah, that's pretty decent. So we have to get rid of the Eldest Reborn. We have to get rid of this Fine Broker, otherwise it kills our Teferi. I guess we just let them have the Teferi and then Teferi tuck. You know they have the trophy in their hand. Oh, Ruinous Blast. Ruinous Blast is a card I wanted to experiment with. It's so hard to find good, cheap legends, though. That's the problem I had when I was building Ruinous Blast decks. Beforehand, your Ruinous Blast decks would just play 4 Barol in the main deck, which would both make Ruinous Blast cheaper and would give you the density of legends you needed. And now you just don't have that. You don't have any legends for the deck that cost like less than 4 mana that you actually want to play, which is so awkward. Yeah, that's the other thing. Any Ruinous Blast deck can just never beat control, for sure. Completely agree. Like, that's the problem with what's going on, right? It's not that green black's unbeatable, though green black is very, very good. It's that, like, you have to be able to beat green-black whilst, like, not auto-folding to counter spells plus Teferi. Alright, let's find a counter spell. Okay. Part 1 of 27. God, Teferi Bloodfast. Nasty. Oh, we need to hit a land if we plus. We have to minus on this Teferi, right? Put the Teferi back in my deck, like, accept that my Teferi is dying to their Find Broker. Feel sad. Yeah, we are brewing a Teferi soon. It's definitely acceptable. Don't know how we beat any of the other stuff that's going on here, but does this make us 3 if I think we're losing this match, so that makes us like 3-2 against black green. The matchup does feel like pretty close if we're being honest. And that's without them playing, like, none of the lists we played against have had Carnage Tyrants. Either. Dawn of Hope. It just dies to Vraska's and Vivian's, though, is the problem. Just like everything else, it just dies to Vraska and Vivian, so it doesn't do anything because of that. Alright, I have a game plan. Explode into Banefire, I think, is how we win this. Like, we're way too far behind on cards. So I'm just going to explode into a Banefire. It's going to be great. Like, I don't think we're not grinding them out here, like, ever. So I was also the argument for main phasing Explode, because then we could hit our land drop, so we could go land, lethal Explode. That might have been better. I'm unsure. Like, representing stuff has some amount of value, but I think that might have actually been better. Just main phase it. Alright. Face us. Ionize. Ionize makes the, I'm getting another stupid Teferi, Jesus. Destroy all creatures. I think I'm just going to tuck this to buy time. We know what our game plan is. Our game plan is just to, like, buy time until we can explode, right? I just think I get to redraw this and immediately kill my... I'm stupid. They get to immediately kill my Teferi. This is way worse than I thought it was. It does use up most of that turn, though. Which probably gives us enough time to Chemister's Insight a bunch. I'm gonna do this. I guess I just don't want them, like, getting a creature into play for free that they can then, like, sack to gain life and dig their way out that way. This way they, like, kind of have to kill my Teferi and develop their board for pressure. Cool. gain is pretty cheap. Life gain is quite good. Never mind. They didn't gain any. What are you talking about, Alex? They didn't gain life. What are you talking about? Right. Would it be super crazy to go all in on the Fireball plan? Probably not. It's like kind of decent. It's like have more Banefires. Reach this point in the game. Taste it. The fact we won that game is wholly absurd. Was this the game where they had Vivian in play too? No, this isn't the Vivian game. Still. They had this active for a million turns. They got a Teferi with their Eldest Reborn. They like looped these 3 times. Banefire, basically a red Carnage Tyrant. Heard it here first, folks. Oh my god. Red Clock Challenge is real indeed. It's fine, I'm just going to play a lot faster. I'm going to read chat a lot less this game. I've been playing it like very, very slowly the last couple matches just because I've been like relaxing, I guess. But I'm going to focus. Need to speed Magic League, oh my god. Banefire. Too good? Too good? Domum. This is a mulligan. This is a sad keep. I guess I need one of these. I need to find a sweeper too, was the problem, but I'm gonna need a negate at some point soon, this game. I'll find a sweeper in time, I'm sure. Hey, Hobart. Good to see you. It's fine, we have loads of time. We're a burn deck. I'm being slightly optimistic. Scary. Nice. I think this is worth it. I think you might want to redirect a duress and counter a duress was the thing. Do you need to find a sweeper soon? That's like kind of non-optional. Alright. I could Teferi plus just to like buy some life. I'm actually in a pretty awkward position against this board right now. I guess we're in a nice spot in that like untapped land lets us kill something too though. It's like not unreasonable. Or okay. Apparently we're dead. Apparently we are dead. See, I told you we'd have time for a third game. This card is not beatable. Ugh. Even if we draw an over, they just start like recurring this. Oh well, it's a good way to go down. Going down to my dino friend. 15 whole play points. So many play points. For each player. Alright. This list still feels really nice. I really love having the fourth one of these in the board. The fourth one in the board is so good. It's like unreal. Being able to board up to 4. I mean, obviously it was awkward that game, but we were dying that game anyway. I think in general you just like want them against the attrition decks just to have good top decks. And it means you can more aggressively expansion your opponent's spells, which is really nice. You don't have to worry about the fact that you're like taking an explosion out of your deck by expanding your opponent's spell in like against duress decks or against like insight decks where you just want to like turn it into a draw 2 in the mid game. Sea always seem better than lava coils to me. We haven't had them be like noticeably worse yet. I do wonder about like a burn plan against green black. I don't know what you'd need to do to facilitate that. I feel like having a second Banefire in the board would probably be a bit clunky is the problem. Like then you're boarding up to like 6 X spells, which is so many. Thanks, Jaken. I appreciate it. I'm very, very happy about how that went. It's interesting. A lot of stuff to mull over. I think we're gonna try something a bit different to finish off the stream. Now that we've done 2 leagues of this. So this is close to the list I played, right? So the list I played was this main deck and this sideboard plus a spyglass. So for everyone who didn't know, this is what I played in the PTQ this last weekend, where I ended up top 8ing. I bought Tyrants in the mirror, yeah. I think Tyrants are quite decent in the mirror.